Okay guys, hello and welcome. This is TGIM with Mindie Kniss. I am here with my friend Ajit Nawalkha, and I'm so excited for people to get to know you. I think a lot of my folks do know you already because they know me through Evercoach. And he's a rock star. I'm really excited for you guys to get to know him. Here's what I want to start with, Ajit. You told me that you were an intern at Mindvalley.
I was, yeah.
And then you told me that you were the CEO of Mindvalley.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, so about 8 years ago, I joined the company as an intern. I joined the company as an intern because before that, I had co-founded a company with my previous employer, and that company was more in the digital era. It was back in India, and it kind of bombed. About a year and a half into the company, we had finished all our funding. It wasn't really working out. I had the option of just going back doing what I did really okay. I wouldn't say did really well, but I did okay. And I could get by, or I had the chance of saying, well, I want to learn something new. At that time, digital marketing wasn't a big deal, especially not in India. It wasn't a big deal.
Okay.
Nobody was really talking about it or thinking about it. Facebook was new at that point, or had just come to India for that matter at that point. So what happened was that we said, all right, so I have the option of going back to doing what I do, or I have this option of learning new. There was a friend of mine that was in Malaysia at that time who knew about Mindvalley, and he said, well, here's this company that is big in the digital space, and they seem like a really good company. They're fun to work for. Maybe you want to just come in for a year or something and just check it out. So like, yeah, why not? I applied. I joined in as an intern. And then once I joined in, I started studying a lot. I started learning a lot from other people in the company, from outside the company. And Mindvalley just is a great workplace. I don't know how much you guys know about Mindvalley, but we are awarded several times for being the most democratic workplace, one of the most fun places to work for, all that kind of stuff. And it's not about the awards; it's mostly about what is the value that we drive with our employees and people who work with us, clients, employees, anybody. And so because of that, it was just a great place to work. So I was with the company for about a year and a half, 18 months, and then I left the company to start my own company now. With no funding, nothing, just savings, whatever. We had like $3,000 in savings or something like that.
Right.
So we said, screw it, I'll just try it. Started 3 companies at that time because I was too scared to try only one. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just like, yeah, I loved Mindvalley, but I had to kind of, it's called the hero's journey, I think. A lot of times you got to go do
all
that.
those struggles and stuff.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go start that. I started 3 companies at that time. One was in partnership with Mindvalley. One was a total bust. And one was a company that we started in the Italian space, in the Italian market. At that time, I had a business partner, and my partner at that time, she was Italian, so we started a company there. And about a year and a half into that company, we had made it already very successful. We had kind of made a mark in that space. So I came back to Mindvalley and sold that company to Mindvalley, part sold, and made Mindvalley a partner, and it became Mindvalley Italy, still is Mindvalley Italy, and that's how I came back to the company. But if you think about it, the journey has always been about what's next, how do I keep growing next. So when I came back to Mindvalley, because I had started a technical company, which was a total bust when I was back in India, I came back as CTO of the company. I didn't actually come back in marketing or business, which was my initial thing. I came back as CTO of the company, or the technical head. We didn't really call it CTO at that time. I did that for about a year and a half. This is where the concept of Omvana was born, which is a very popular meditation app. Even till today. I was on the core concept team that came up with that idea and really built the first prototype of it. From there, we went in and we started creating other companies at the same point in time while I was supporting all the marketing efforts of Mindvalley. Now the thing is, and funnily, we just walked out from a talk that Neil Patel was doing downstairs, and he was talking about how to be awesome consistently. He was talking about something in context of blogging, but that's kind of the truth of life in a way, is that if you want to really get anywhere, you have to consistently perform. So I think for the past association that I've had with Mindvalley, or generally my being, I think I've been able to consistently deliver great results in whatever role I have taken. So that led me to about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, take on the role of being CEO of Mindvalley. A year into it, I realized that I need again a new challenge, a new strength that I want to build, a new play I want to play, which is where I said I don't want to be CEO of Mindvalley. I'll still help Mindvalley out, and I started another company which was just like a side project, which is Evercoach, which you now know.
Just a little side project.
It
No
was
big
at
deal.
that time. Yeah, it was at that time, and started focusing on it in April 2016. Before that, we barely did anything for it. Now it became a giant in about 8-9 months.
That was fast.
Yeah, it was huge. Already by end of 2015, it was kind of like people were getting a lot of traction. We had done our first boot camp. People were absolutely loving, and everything was amazing, which came all because we were also coming from a place of love. And then January this year, 2016, me and Vishen were just talking, and we saw how our energies synergize, how we've always worked together. It has worked out really well, and that's where we offered that I become a co-founder of Mindvalley and a partner of Mindvalley, which is what I am now. Is that Evercoach, everything we've kind of said, all right, let's bring this all together, and have one big company that takes care of their people and stands for something.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have done a great job of that too, offering so many different things that all have a lot of synergy together. So it really does work out well. Tell me this, thinking about, you've already done a lot of stuff, and then you went back as an intern, and I feel like a lot of people would struggle with that because they're like, well, I already did that, or I'm beyond that, or I'm past that. How did you find that humbleness to just say, you know what, if that's where I am going to start, that's fine? Because I feel like a lot of people would get stuck in that in their head of just, oh, you know, I was this, and now I don't want to go back and do that, even though it could lead to something so different.
I think when I was doing it, I wasn't thinking about what it would lead to. I have to take a jog down the memory lane here. But as far as I think as a human being, who I am, it has a lot to do with my not attaching myself to a lot of things. Like previously while we were walking here, you're talking about how do you really say my name, and I would like say it whatever way you feel like saying it, and I wasn't so attached to saying it.
That wouldn't vibe with me.
Yeah, so
like,
for me, it's like,
it.
yeah, it's my name. I mean, my parents gave it to me, but it's just a name for you to call me with, but you don't remember me because I'm Ajit, you remember me because of who I am. Right. So I have very little association to ego, I think. So I don't get attached to ideas too much. I'm okay failing. It doesn't. I see life as a play, as a journey, as something that I'm enjoying, and sometimes it'll be fun, sometimes it'll be painful, but I don't necessarily. I do what I feel is fun for me. So yeah, I don't know if it really answers the question in the sense of techniques or tricks or anything like that. It's none of that. For me, it's a lot about how do we play today.
Have you developed that over time, or have you always been that way?
I think it happened a little bit because of my childhood. Like I was telling you, I grew up with 22 people in the house. When you don't have that much abundance of time, space, area, you just learn to live life today being a great day. I think. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really gone down that path to realize why I am certain areas of my life. I know some of my things that I didn't appreciate about myself, or I hoped that I could work on those. I've worked on those, but I've never really had the time and chance as of now. Not even time and chance. I haven't felt the requirement to work as of now to understand why am I humble as a person? Why do I value certain things so much? They don't necessarily bother me. I feel they're great values to have, so I just keep them as of now. But I guess it has a little bit to do with saying what's the worst that can happen. Yeah. I was living with 22 people for 24 years of my life. It can't go worse than that, right?
I don't know. I've never lived with 22 people, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not that it was bad, it was bad, but it wasn't like terrible. I could do that. I think I can
pretty much do anything.
Pretty much do anything, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. What's your favorite thing about your day-to-day experience? Like, what lights you up? What are you enjoying these days?
So these days, what is exciting for me is living a value-based life. So most of us live goal to goal, right? There is one goal, and then you feel gratification, and before you even reach that goal, there's the next one that's already showing up for you. Most of us live that way, and there's nothing wrong with that. It has served me for a great time. But what I'm experimenting with right now is, instead of living from one goal to another, trying to see what if we lived based on values. It's just that every day there is a certain set of values. I have about 13 of them, where I go, all right, here are the values until the time I live by them every single day. I don't remember all 13 all the time, but it is kind of in my unconscious in a way, and some of them are really, really powerful. They're really up there.
Like what would be like maybe the top one or two?
So like my biggest value is love.
Okay.
And for me, that doesn't only mean love in the sense of love with a partner. It means love in the place that I live with, which is why a lot of decisions are very easy for me, because I just have to decide if I can love that thing, whatever I'm deciding to do. If I can and if I will, then hell yeah is the answer. Yeah. Which is why it's easy for me nowadays. It was really hard for me to connect with people previously. It's not so hard anymore, because all I'm thinking is how do I love or give value or out there in the world. So that's like one of my biggest values. Awesome. Which is why it makes it really easy for me, really easy decisions for me to say, if I'm in a public setting, I have to be comfortable that because I have a little bit of fame these days, people will come, and I need to respect their intention, and I need to be present with them and really serve them while I'm with them. Because that's just me coming from a place of love. That's all it is. So that's one of my biggest values. So I try to live by that every single day.
That's awesome. I always talk about love as this primal force in the universe, and how great that you have seen such, outward success using that as that driving force, not ego, not anything else, goal driven. It's just love, and that has taken you so far forward, which is really awesome. You're a great example of that. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for shining light on that. What would you say to these folks? Sometimes people, this show comes out Mondays, and sometimes people are like, Monday, blah. It's always this hard thing to get started because they're enjoying their weekend. But you and I live really exciting lives, and I just want to showcase how much is possible and the potential to everyone out there, whether they're an entrepreneur or not. Speaking from that love center, that love heart space that you have, what would you say to them to just get them a little bit fired up?
So think about it like this. It's not about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It really matters of how you want to show up, and how much do you value your life. If you value living on this planet, if you value living, period, what you got to think about is, let's think about it this way, right? Everybody's going to die. You're going to die, I'm going to die, we're dying, right? It doesn't matter what you believe, what spirituality you believe, you're going to die even if there is an afterlife, right? But you are going to die, which means there's a limited set of experience that you have in this world. And when you have a limited set of experience that you have in the world, why make it bad? Right? Why live from a place where you're anxious, scared, frustrated, angry, pissed off, whatever that is? Every single time I've felt that emotion in my body, if I've consistently felt that emotion in my body, if it's occasional once in a while, it's okay. Because it happens, we're human beings, we're emotional beings, we will feel emotions. But if it's happening consistently every single day, every time I've felt it every single day, I've quit whatever I was doing. I know it may sound like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you telling me to quit my job? I'm not saying do it immediately where you are out of finances. What I'm saying is, it's time. If it's really bad and you can't fix it, you can't move on, it's always going to be bad, move on. There's something better waiting for you anyways, right? Move on strategically. Don't burn your bridges. Go ahead and find a way that you can find that bliss in doing an alternative career or finding another job or whatever that is for you. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. What you're associating, if you're associating it to money, you make more money if you're happy. If you're associating to fame, you get more fame if you are happy, if you're enjoying what you're doing. And that's mostly what is important. If you are living in that place, it won't really matter. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. For me, it doesn't matter what day it is till the time I'm enjoying my time. I work sometimes on a Sunday, and sometimes I take a vacation on a Wednesday. Now, I'm fortunate to have a life like this, but I think in 2016, there is no reason for you to do something that is not joyous, because it's a new world. You can do stuff on the internet. You can get jobs easily. You can do freelance stuff if you don't really want to work for a company. You can start your own business with almost no investment in it. It's easy. It's simple. I wouldn't say it's easy. It's simple enough for you to get started. It will be hard in the first run to do anything new, but it's not something that you need to like waste your life over. So
and
get
there's joy
past
in
it.
that too. That hard work. There is
Yeah.
joy, and there can be happiness in that too. I'm over here like dying because I'm like, yeah, preach. These people have heard me talk about this a million times. That it's all a choice in terms of what you're going to do, how you're going to focus, what you're going to spend your time and energy on. So thank you. Thank you. I'm like, yeah, listen to what he said. If you haven't heard it from me a million times, like maybe they'll hear it from you. So I love that. Thank you so much for joining me on this. It's really, really fun to connect with you real time. I know we've had, various things online, but this has been awesome to get to know you a little bit better.
Thank you for inviting me.
You are so welcome. Thank you all for watching. This has been TGIM with Mindie Kniss. I will see you next week.